Welcome back to my channel. Oh, I have been working all morning on this lesson. Forewarning, it's a doozy. I do the lesson, I listen to the usual on YouTube to help me better understand the lesson, and then I read the lesson to you guys and give my understanding and interpretation, which I don't want to say there's a right or a wrong, but I think people that have been doing this course for many, many years have really been able to get into the seed of what Jesus is talking about. Then there's people like myself who've been doing the lessons for, boy, that number keeps changing, but I want to say maybe 6 years, 6 or 7 years. And I think, we're all here on YouTube trying to make sense of these lessons for the purpose of separating ourselves from the mind and going to that field where the Holy Spirit resides at all times, so that when we make that separation and we're looking down at our bodies, let's say, especially if you are suffering from illness or disease, injuries, and then of course other areas of your life, really it is, and this is what this lesson is going to be really trying to get into our thick skulls, is anything that is happening, as what we say, to us, whether it's physical stuff, financial stuff, emotional stuff, we put it there because we have essentially failed to rid our minds of past and what's in the past. I mean, all past is, besides maybe a couple of fun memories, guilt, shame, anguish, hurt, and we've been unable to somehow clean our minds, undo all the things we thought were real and of value. So now we're here at lesson 136, where Jesus is really just trying to get us to just get it. And I hear other people use the term positive separation, because we are all connected. So there's no separation when it comes to our spirits, our light. So in that explanation, we are all connected. But the only separation that it would be a positive one is separating our clean minds from the body, and to know that mind that merges with Christ, and that love and that oneness and that light in that field of infinite intelligence, when you make that separation and go there, what we used to consider as value and as real corrects itself. But it's not because we took the medication or we did anything to try and control the outcome. The real healing, and this is what Jesus is really trying to get in our thick skulls, is you have to rise out and away from this reality that we consider to be reality, which essentially is the dream. Waking up is rising up and out, and maybe even observing what is happening, then turning our backs to that up in the ethereal, merged with the love of Christ, the love of God, Holy Spirit, and look to that energy and say, I'm all yours. I'm all yours. I don't have anything to do with this illness, this shoulder injury, none of it. I am going to rise out into the arms of the Holy Spirit. Sometimes I might observe from above. This is the work. This is what I've been doing in my visualization, because I'm a girl that's like, I need to figure out a way to do this and accomplish it, because I'm so in and committed to this, where I no longer want to deal with another trigger, especially when it comes to health, as in my old mind, as we're all getting older. But again, that's a programming that I'm getting sucked back into, just even talking to you. So yeah, that's what I've been working on all morning. So this video is coming out late. So the title of today's lesson is perfect. Is sickness is a defense against the truth. Jesus wants us to understand that not only did we put whatever it is we're dealing with on our path in our awareness. Now he's saying, okay, so it's there, so what? It's not real, it's not true, has no value. So come back up to me and come to me in your nothingness, right? Just with your hands open going, I don't know. And Christ is like, perfect. We've got you exactly where we need you. The I don't know, let us take over. And making that positive separation, that's where corrections are miraculously done. They're made. Corrections are made in the body. Corrections are made in circumstances. And you're not rising, because we don't want to put any value on any of those anyway. So it's not like you're actually doing it to see the evidence of the correction. You're doing it because it's your truth. The byproduct, the gravy, is that things are corrected. That's like the extra. That's the bonus spin. But really, we do it because it's the truth. That's it. It's the truth. So, but, unfortunately, we make ourselves sick because our minds are just cluttered with unserving thoughts. And the mind's so powerful, it can manifest everything and anything, which is a good thing and a bad thing. But at the end of the day, it's a great thing, because the mind, its function was only meant for truth and emerging with Holy Spirit, an awareness of the light within. That's it. That's the only function of the mind. But somehow, some way, we have managed to muck up what the mind's function is truly for, and we started to miscreate, terribly miscreate. Lesson 136, sickness is a defense against the truth. No one can heal unless he understands what purpose sickness seems to serve. For then he understands as well its purpose has no meaning. Being causeless and without a meaningful intent of any kind, it cannot be at all. When this is seen, healing is automatic. So really I always say, I put the sickness there because I think my path was to learn this in order, and without the sickness, without the problems, I wouldn't have been able to take these necessary steps to undo the mind. But they're going further to go really, really deep, that there is literally no cause. It's like me right now, out of nowhere, deciding to grab a hammer and just hit my leg without any reason whatsoever. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? Completely without reason, without rhyme or reason, without cause, and zero purpose. And we do it. It's like taking a hammer and just pop, because we don't know any better. We're just, I don't know. That's how disjointed our mental can get. When this is seen, healing is automatic. It dispels this meaningless illusion by the same approach that carries all of them to truth and merely leaves them there to disappear. Sickness is not an accident. Like all defenses, it is an insane device for self-deception. And like all the rest, its purpose is to hide reality, attack it, change it, render it inept, distort it, twist it, or reduce it to a little pile of unassembled parts. The aim of all defenses is to keep the truth from being whole. The parts are seen as if each one were whole within itself. I mean, Jesus is just telling us, like, it is so pointless. And once you start to realize, my God, I feel a little tickle in my throat, and I decide to take it 10 steps into, oh my God, I think I'm getting sick. A completely insane that we would even, it's just like a jumble garble of nothingness that we make into something real. And when we continue relentlessly going back to understanding that it doesn't make any sense, it's completely mad, insane, you will get so good at catching that idea of whatever you think is happening somewhere here or even in your life. And you are going to go, detour, boom, I'm coming out of my body. And you'll be more out of your body than you will be in your body, experiencing whatever you think you're experiencing, which is nothing, is not real. And when you can you maintain a sense of like floating above? I don't even know if that's even the right way to go about it, but that's how I'm doing it. I'm a visual person. Even in here, I have to visualize. And you'll get really good at making that separation again. You realize, oh my God, this is insane that we even allow our minds to create this stuff. And we think our minds didn't create it. I just got sick. No, our minds created not necessarily the thought of sickness, but the guilt and the shit that we are so unconscious of, that we may have been carrying from old news, recent news, something that's triggering now. That's why this is a brain training, a retraining, an undoing, and a like a new order, new. We're putting in new information so we can just start creating from the space that is the only truth. Don't let me say it. From the divine. Just because you are as God created you. So you cannot be separate from that. The parts are seen as if each one were whole within itself. So let me repeat that. The aim of all defenses is to keep the truth from being whole. The parts are seen as if each one were whole within itself. Defenses are not unintentional, nor are they made without awareness. They are secret, magic wands you wave when truth appears to threaten what you would believe. They seem to be unconscious, but because of the rapidness with which you choose to use them, in that second, even less, in which the choice is made, you recognize exactly what you would attempt to do, and then proceed to think that it is done. It happens, Jesus is saying, it just happens so fast. That's why you think that you were unconscious when you got ill, or when something happened. That I didn't put it there, it just happened. I was exposed to other people that were sick, and it just happened. That's how deceptive the mind can be in assigning things in the form of like truth in our bodies. It's fast. I mean, so many thousands of thoughts are just like running through the brain. It works so fast, but we're going to work faster. We're going to work faster so that we're going to slow everything down. And that's what we're doing. We're slowing everything down, slowing the whole process down. Who but yourself evaluates a threat, decides escape is necessary, and sets up a series of defenses to reduce the threat that has been judged as real? All this cannot be done unconsciously. But afterwards, your plan requires that you must forget you made it. So it seems to be external to your own intent. Sneaky. A happening beyond your state of mind, an outcome with a real effect on you instead of one affected by yourself. I mean, it does. It happens so fast. We really do think it's something outside of ourselves, but it's not. It is this quick forgetting of the part you play in making your reality that makes defenses seem to be beyond your own control. But what you have forgot can be remembered. Given willingness to reconsider the decision which is doubly shielded by your oblivion. Your not remembering is but the sign that this decision still remains in force. So this is really becoming hyper vigilant, hyper aware of what is going on in the present moment. And that means being hyper vigilant on the present moment all day long. And you're like, oh, that's not living. It is living. It is living, because then you will start to draw in incredible things to you that you thought, there is no way that could have happened with my old mind, with my old self. Gotta trust this process, man. Because the kingdom is everything that you've ever wanted. Love, holy connections, trust, flow, ease, butterflies, colors, fur babies, real babies, abundance. Okay, I'm going off track here. Your not remembering is but the sign that this decision still remains in force as far as your desires are concerned. Mistake not this for fact. Defenses must make facts unrecognizable. They aim at doing this, and it is this they do. So remember, defenses can come very sneakily in the form of illness, financial problems, and they will skew your vision of facts, which are the truth. And this is what Jesus wants us to understand, is you have to really start siphoning what are defenses to the truth and what is truth. You will get really good at this. It takes practice. It takes practice and a determination. I'm telling you, you can do these lessons. You can do it through meditation. You can do it. But it takes such a willingness and a conviction that you just you are only going to focus on understanding this, and not just understanding, experiencing it. Every defense takes fragments of the whole, assembles them without regard to all their true relationships, and thus constructs illusions of a whole that is not there. It is this process that imposes threat, and not whatever outcome may result. So it's more the process. The outcome is the outcome. You're just like, once you feel that result, you're just like, oh, I did it again. But you can undo it. When parts are wrested from the whole and seen as separate and wholes within themselves, they become symbols standing for attack upon the whole, successful in effect and never to be seen as whole again. And yet you have forgotten that they stand but for your own decision of what should be real, to take the place of what is real. Sickness is a decision. It is not a thing that happens to you, quite unsought, which makes you weak and brings you suffering. It is a choice you make, a plan you lay, when for an instant truth arises in your own deluded mind, and all your world appears to totter and prepare to fall. Now are you sick, that truth may go away and threaten your establishments no more. How do you think that sickness can succeed in shielding you from truth? Because it proves the body is not separate from you, and so you must separate from the truth. You suffer pain because the body does, and in this pain you are made one with it. Thus is your true identity preserved, and the strange, haunting thought that you might be something beyond this little pile of dust silenced and stilled. For see, this dust can make you suffer, twist your limbs and stop your heart, commanding you to die and cease to be. Jesus wants us to know we are not our bodies. And by acknowledging the illness and feeling that pain is saying, my mind and my body are connected, and they are not. They are not. It is going to take a practice to separate your mind from your body. A clean mind, pulling it out of the body, going beyond that body, to the truth, to that light, to Christ's mind, merging with Christ's mind, looking down at the body saying, I'm not that. I'm over here with divinity, in this eternal light that can never die. Thus is the body stronger than the truth, which asks you live but cannot overcome your choice to die. And so the body is more powerful than everlasting life. And that's the thing, we give our body way too much power by connecting our mind to it constantly. And that's why we feel like shit. That's why we believe we are sick. So let me repeat this. And so the body is more powerful than everlasting life, heaven more frail than hell, in God's design for the salvation of his son, opposed by a decision stronger than his will. His son is dust, the Father incomplete, and chaos sits in triumph on his throne. And it's not the case. We have completely replaced God with our bodies, our sick and fragile bodies. That ain't true. Such is your planning for your own defense, and you believe that heaven quails before such mad attacks as these, with God made blind by your illusions, truth turned into lies, and all the universe made slave to laws, which your defenses would impose on it. Yet who believes illusions but the one who made them up? Who else can see them and react to them as if they were the truth? Who else? God knows not of your plans to change his will. The universe remains unheeding of the laws by which you thought to govern it. See, God only knows you as your truth. He does not know of our sick plans to connect our mind with our body and creating all sorts of havoc in our lives, because God still only sees your truth. Our mind rising from our body and making that positive separation, going back to Christ's vision, going back to the source. That's why God can't heal us. God only sees our light. God only sees us completely healed. He doesn't see our problems. All he sees is our light. So he's wondering, what the hell are you doing down there in your body? I can't help you. The only way you can heal is by taking your washed mind from your body, knowing, being completely aware you are not your body. Your mind is of the Christ. That's why God doesn't heal us. The healing is automatic as soon as we take ourselves away from the body to our truth. And God only recognizes that. God only recognizes that. That's why I'm like, oh no, God healed me. No. For whatever reason, you were able to separate yourself from your body and take your mind to what is valuable, what is changeless and eternal and loving, and the truth. And heaven has not bowed to hell, nor life to death. You can but choose to think you die, or suffer sickness, or distort the truth in any way. What is created is apart from all of this. Defenses are plans to defeat what cannot be attacked. What is unalterable cannot change, and what is wholly sinless cannot sin. Such is the simple truth. It does not make appeal to might or triumph. It does not command obedience, nor seek to prove how pitiful and futile your attempts to plan defenses that would alter it. Truth merely wants to give you happiness, for such its purpose is. Perhaps it sighs a little when you throw away its gifts, and yet it knows with perfect certainty that what God wills for you must be received. I mean, God just keeps saying, I only see you as the truth. So whatever your mind did to your body, he can't even see it because it's not even real. Our minds have made it real because we are connected to those bodies. We've connected our minds to the bodies, but God is not even seeing any of it. So we got to just go straight back to the divine and go, oh my God, my mind just ended up here. What is it doing back here? Let me go back to the truth. Let me go back to the truth and turn your back to this. And once we just get out of our own way, interestingly enough, everything gets repurposed, put back in order. And we think it's a miracle, but it's the most natural thing, because our truth is the most natural thing. And our function here is the most natural thing. But our mind can flip-flop. It can go there, they can come back. Because it is, we have a split mind, and Jesus is asking us, we want to make your mind whole again. It is this fact that demonstrates that time is an illusion. For time lets you think what God has given you is not the truth right now as it must be. The thoughts of God are quite apart from time. For time is but another meaningless defense you made against the truth. Yet what he wills is here, and you remain as he created you. Truth has a power far beyond defense, for no illusions can remain where truth has been allowed to enter. And it comes to any mind that would lay down its arms and cease to play with folly. It is found at any time today if you will choose to practice giving welcome to the truth. This is our aim today. And we will give a quarter of an hour twice to ask the truth to come to us and set us free. And truth will come, for it has never been apart from us. It merely waits for just this invitation which we give today. We introduce it with a healing prayer to help us rise above defensiveness. And let truth be as it always been, as it has always been. Sickness is a defense against the truth. I will accept the truth of what I am and let my mind be wholly healed today. Healing will flash across your open mind as peace and truth arise to take the place of war and vain imaginings. There will be no dark corner sickness can conceal and keep defended from the light of truth. There will be no dim figures from your dreams, nor their obscure and meaningless pursuits with double purposes insanely sought remaining in your mind. It will be healed of all the sickly wishes that it tried to authorize the body to obey. Now is the body healed because the source of sickness has been open to relief, and you will recognize you practiced well by this. The body should not feel at all. If you've been successful, there will be no sense of feeling ill or feeling well, of pain or pleasure. No response at all is in the mind to what the body does. Its usefulness remains and nothing more. Jesus wants this so badly for us. He wants us, our minds, to be whole again. No more split. No more come back here, go back up there, come back here, come back, go back there. He wants us to just make the separation once and for all, and to live in a blissful state of our truth. All this muckery that we have just created for not just this lifetime, for lifetimes, it's gonna get done. It's done. It's finished. Perhaps you do not realize that this removes the limits you had placed upon the body by the purposes you gave it. As these are laid aside, the strength the body has will always be enough to serve all truly useful purposes. The body's health is fully guaranteed because it is not limited by time, by weather or fatigue, by food and drink, or any laws you made it serve before. You need do nothing now to make it well, for sickness has become impossible. Yet this protection needs to be preserved by careful watching. If you let your mind harbor attack thoughts, yield to judgment, or make plans against uncertainties to come, you have again misplaced yourself. So again, Jesus is asking, watch those thoughts. If you allow your mind to bring in attack thoughts, I'm not sure I can do this, I'm fearful, but what ifs, or anything, judging or making plans just in case, you have again misplaced yourself and made a bodily identity which will attack the body, for the mind is sick. We need to, the healing is done in the mind. The mind needs to be separated from the body. That is the healing of the mind. Give instant remedy should this occur. So again, it is about watching those thoughts, being aware. And as soon as you start to give in to those thoughts, those programs, give instant remedy by not allowing your defensiveness to hurt you longer. Do not be confused about what must be healed. But remember, it's not the body that needs healing. It's the mind. And how do we heal the mind? You just pull that mind from the body and merge it with the Holy Spirit. This is of perfect happiness. You are as God created, perfect light, perfect love. Go to that field. It is a magnificent place where there is no more fear thoughts and attack thoughts. Tell yourself, I have forgotten what I really am, for I mistook my body for myself. Sickness is a defense against the truth, but I am not a body and my mind cannot attack, so I cannot be sick. Once you get this and realize your mind no longer attacks, but it is clean and clear and has merged with the Holy Spirit. And you just see that flash of just a healed mind, no longer attacking another, no longer attacking yourself, your body, none of it. It is pulling the mind out of the body and merging with the divine. And you will see how quickly things course correct in your life, in your body. But we're not doing it for that. We are just going back to our natural state. Funny enough, that is our natural state. Is a clean, clear mind filled with light, filled with love. Thank you if you made it to the end of this. What a doozy. Yesterday's, today's, we are in the meat of it. It might get a little uncomfortable. Stick with it. Anything that's worth doing is going to be a little uncomfortable at the beginning. It's like breaking habits and addictions. The mind is going to go through withdrawals, and so will the body. Trust the process. I love you very much. Lesson 136, sickness is a defense against the truth. God bless you till next time. Be well.